So I wanted to just basically talk about a very simple principle. I read a good bit, and I think a good bit a lot about this country, like living through the Obama generation as a black conservative. I've had the opportunity to really think about what I believe and to really ponder about what makes this country great and what am I protecting, what is worth protecting. And one of the things that I think separates this country from a lot of other places, especially in its inception, but even today, is...
Here you go, sir.
Thank you so much.
You enjoy the rest of your night.
You have a lemon in here? Lemon?
Lemon? No.
Can I have one, please?
Sure.
Yeah. You can just put it on the top. Two of them.
Sorry?
Two of them. Yeah. And so what separates this country from many others is the emphasis from the very beginning on the individual, on individual sovereign. It's not only that we're a self-governing nation, but in the Declaration of Independence, and it's reconfirmed in our Constitution.
There you go.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. It's reconfirmed in our Constitution, this idea that that individuals actually voluntarily surrender their own sovereignty in order to have a system of government. But even in that government, the reason we have a republic is because the rights and the sovereignty of the individual is respected and acknowledged. It's actually acknowledged in our system of government. That's why we don't have a democracy, where it would be called the tyranny of the mob or the tyranny of the majority. We don't have a system in place of governance where the majority is allowed to just run over the minority. And that is a reflection of the fact that we hold every individual's ability to think freely, to choose for themselves as sacred. We don't allow mobs to dictate everyone's fate, or we don't allow for people to surrender their own judgment for the judgment of the state or for the majority. And what I just wanted to talk to you about is a principle that's kind of hidden within a statement that generally has negative implications. And the statement is, to live by the sword is to also die by the sword. Or if you live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. This principle is like kind of a universal principle, and I think that's why it stays around so long, but it has incredible implications for the situation that we find ourselves in. And it also kind of gives guidance as to what we need to do as a country. And what I mean by that is this idea of the sword, living and dying by the same principle is what it's getting at. And if you were to replace the idea of a sword and you were to say individual freedom or the individual, you would get a statement that kind of goes like this: if you're willing to live by individual freedom or the individual, then you have to be willing to die as an individual for individual freedom. So it kind of goes, again, I probably butchered that, but if you want to live as an individual, you have to be willing to die as an individual. That's probably a cleaner and simpler way to put it. So what I mean by the reason I'm bringing this up is because we've grown into this kind of, over the last maybe decade or two, into this kind of society that champions bandwagonism, that champions groups and protests, and we always want to do things with other people. We always want to fight and join causes with other people. And I think we're doing this in large part to hide our own cowardice. Show me the person that's willing to stand alone for freedom. This is the only way that freedom is going to be protected in a republic, is when individuals start seeing freedom as a matter of life and death, and they're willing to lay down their own. What did our founders say in the Declaration? He said, give me liberty or give me death. He didn't say give me liberty or give them death, or give us liberty or give us death. No, it has to come down to a personal decision. where we're unwilling to accept anything other than our constitutional republic. And that may mean taking some L's, and we have to be willing. We have to actually find courage within ourselves to be able to stand for what we believe in and what we believe to be right. I'm taking my L's right now, and it's not stopping me or silencing me at all. I plan to speak out more, but I really want to encourage you guys to take this lesson to heart and really understand it. If we are to maintain a free society, a place that champions liberty and freedom for the individual, we need to start acting as individuals in defense of liberty and in defense of freedom. And that's kind of like my sweet tea moment, or my sweet tea thought for the day. God bless you, patriots. Be brave. Right will never be wrong. Be brave. Align yourself with rightness, and you'll find that as individuals, we'll rise together. All right? God bless you. See you later. Bye-bye.